I am back. Good evening again. This is Selwyn Collins of CWS, Conversations with Selwyn. On the other side of the screen is my guest tonight, Donna Dove. Donna, good evening.
Good evening.
I am very happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donna, as I mentioned to you earlier, is a gem. I consider her a gem of the Caribbean. She is very gifted, multi talented, and very giving. And I'm hoping that by the end of this conversation tonight, for those of you who think you know Donna, those of you who have met her along the way, I'm hoping that at the end of this conversation, you'll have a more three dimensional perspective of who Donna Dove is. I think what you think you know of her is just scratching the surface. So, don't even- I want to start tonight by just giving you a glimpse into her bio. It says that Donna Dove is a revolutionary fashion designer, artist, and entrepreneur based in Harlem, New York. Blessed with a keen and authentic understanding of art through her ability to reach back to her origins for inspiration and her syncretism of fashion design and the fine arts. Donna sees her creativity as a divine process. Her noteworthy sugarcane collection encompass the color and synergy of the Caribbean, juxtaposed with the energy of New York. The result is a stylish melange of men's shirts featuring original drawings and flowing cotton voile pieces created for the woman of distinction. Donna has extended her fashion line into an original home furnishing collection, including shower curtains, pillows, lampshades, and placemats, all bearing the signature Donna Dove motif of creative artwork. There is more, but I want to do justice to the show and to Donna, so I'm not going to read anymore. Donna, once again, good evening.
Good evening.
You are on.
Thank you, Selwyn, for having me.
You're quite welcome. Um, what is your favorite memory of your mother while you were growing up in Trinidad?
Oh, that's a good question. She happens to be one of my favorite people, so I love talking about her. Well, my mother was a seamstress,
Uh huh.
so growing up in the Caribbean, my favorite memory is of her on the machine,
Hmm.
sewing, um, making sure that I didn't come near to get in the way, because I would take a sleeve and cut it up and make my doll clothes and, get a good little slapping for that after. But yeah, a strong woman that was taking care of her family
Hmm.
and taking care of the home and making clothes for her children and for clients.
For clients. You mentioned strong woman.
Yes.
You are a strong woman. Um, what does what does strength in a woman means to you?
Well, going back to my mother again, I
Hmm.
saw my mother come to this country and was able to bring her five girls up to the States and did the American dream, worked hard and provided for us and was able to buy homes
Hmm.
in New York and Florida. And I used to look at her and just be amazed. Someone without, much education that was able to come to this country and did stuff that I'm not even, capable of doing.
So you call that determination?
Oh, she was very determined,
Uh-huh.
She was determined to come here and make a life for her children
Hmm.
and grandchildren, which she has now. And you can just see that dream going into the next generation and the next generation. So yeah, that's strength. That's a serious woman there.
You define your clothing designs as wearable art.
Yes.
Um, can you tell us about your artistic influences?
Oh wow. Well, again, starting with my mother and growing up in Trinidad, like a lot of the other Caribbean islands, we always had seamstresses and tailors. So you're around those type of people. We didn't have department stores like we have in the States here. So
Hmm.
everybody had a seamstress or a tailor. And I had a tailor. And of course, my mother was, would make clothes for us. So I grew up seeing that,
Hmm.
and the fact that we have carnival is another creative process that I grew up around. And although I was quite young when I came here, I still remember Carnival and the
Mhm.
whole, ceremonious thing, the jab jab, juve, things that, stay with me to this day,
And what is your earliest memory of wearable art?
Mm. Good question. For me, it was the fighting with the fact that I'm an artist
Uh-huh.
and I like to sew and wanting to put the two of them together. So it was always part of me. I always draw. I would see, palm trees, put it on paper. Why not put it on clothing? Put it on a T-shirt. And that's basically how I started, putting artwork on T-shirts. It was a good medium to
Is
start
this
with.
is this this question I'm asking you is simply because we come from similar environments, the Caribbean.
Right.
I'm from Guyana, and a lot of times there are peer pressures, negative peer pressure.
Yes.
When you first came up with this concept, this idea of
Mhm.
wearable art, did you share that with your friends? Did you share with anybody, or you just decide, look, this is what I want to do, and.
Well, I attended FIT.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to get associates in fashion design. So I was already in it,
Okay.
so illustration classes um, brought me to this point right now. We would draw on paper. Why not draw on a hat, a bag, clothing? So that's how it started for me because I love the art so much. I must say, I'm an artist first before I'm a fashion designer.
Ah.
So the art and the fashion marries, itself, together, and it's with me. I try to separate them, but it didn't happen. So I decided to go down the road with both of them.
You just stopped. Well, give me pause with a question I'm about to ask you. Um, which one gives you most pleasure,
Wow.
art or fashion designs? And then
Hmm.
you said, you married it too. But I'm still gonna ask it because I'm mischievous that way. Um,
The art,
the art.
the art, the art.
I see you. I see you light up.
Yeah.
Is there a piece you can read? When someone speaks of art or your art,
Hmm.
is there a particular piece that comes to mind? Is there one piece always seeps into your consciousness whenever someone mentions art or you think of art?
Oh, but my art?
Yes, your art. Yeah.
Well, I specialize in faces, so what comes to mind is just my faces and the fact like if I'm sitting hanging out with friends, I would immediately, because I love pen and paper, take to drawing, and it's always that profile face,
Wow.
the nose, the mouth, put an emphasis on the lips, the chin, and get crazy with the hair, the earrings. Yeah.
Why faces?
Because again, coming from my illustration background, what we did in FIT was we made croquis, and croquis is actually the figure that you would design your clothing on.
Hmm.
So we would start with faces first, and you don't get into the faces like details. So it was always one eye, a mouth, and you do something crazy with the hair, elongated earrings. So you spend some time in there, and then you go into the fashion of designing the outfit, on this picture,
Uh-huh.
this croquis.
And is there any particular thing about the face, any part of the face, that appeals to you the most?
Um, the eyes and the mouth.
The eyes and the
Yes,
mouth.
yes,
Okay, okay.
yes.
And what do you enjoy most about creating wearable art?
What I enjoyed most about creating wearable art is the fact that it's my art and it's one of a kind because I do hand draw on services.
Uh-huh.
So I like the fact that I could create my own look and my own fashion. So when you see a Donna Dove fashion, it's one of a kind. You wouldn't see much people with it.
Was that important along your journey? Was that important to you to have this identity, this uniqueness? Was
Oh
that?
yes, oh
Mhm.
yes, because it's such a competitive industry.
Uh-huh.
You have to stand out, and the fact that I drew and the fact that I can design and make clothes kind of put me on a different kind of level, I should say. So when you do see one of my outfits, you're gonna say, "Is that a Donna Dove?"
Kali in the chat room said, "Hi Donna, you look gorgeous.
Thank
Did
you.
did did you create the top you're wearing?
Yes, I did.
It's fabulous. It's fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have a background in painting. Can you elaborate on how painting influences your work?
When you mean painting, what do you mean?
Like painting, I mean,
Well, first of all, my background with art is pen and ink. I specialize in pen and ink and
pen. Okay.
acrylic on plexiglass. I
Oh,
don't use brushes. I did when I was going to school, but I specialize in pen and ink.
pen and
So
ink.
the pen on the paper or a tube that I use with a nib that I can use as a pen,
Uh-huh.
which I draw, the designs of my clothing is what I do. So it's a pen and ink line, linear type drawing
Lines. We
lines.
had this
Yes.
conversation a few days ago
Yes.
about you and lines. Hopefully, it will rear its head and come back. And we'll have a chance to talk about that some more. What kind of materials do you work with to create wearable art? And which material are your favorite?
Well, I'm a cotton girl. I'm from the Caribbean, so
Uh,
I'm into the natural cottons and fabrics. Um, cotton with a little poly. We need poly. You want to wash it. You don't want it to be too crinkled.
uh-huh.
Voile. I love voile. I love, as I said, cotton, linens. I'm a natural girl.
Natural.
Yes.
I like that. I like that. Um, Kali, Kali in the chat room asked, "Can you tell us about the piece you're wearing? What unique artistic elements did you incorporate?"
Okay. After specializing in fashion design, I got a little bored with just working with fabrics, so I decided to work with men's shirts. I love men's shirts.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm wearing is two men's shirts that I sewed together, sewed the collar together, and what you see there's the two front of the shirt,
Uh-huh.
you know, and it's very interesting. It's very
I would never. I would not
it's
have guessed.
different. I like different things that you should say that. What is it? The back of it, if I
Yeah,
can,
sure.
is the two collars that is sewn together to give that kind of fit.
Could you do a could you just stand for, because right now they can only see just above your breast. Just yes. Yes. Now you can turn around. Wow.
So it's a man's extra large shirt that I took and just made this, and strips of fabric just to add color. I would also put my art on the front.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. So, do you listen to music when you're engaged in the creative process?
I love music. I love music. I love to listen to music, and sometimes I love just silence. But when I do listen to music, I'm a reggae girl.
Uh-huh.
I like dub.
Yes.
You know,
Uh-huh.
I like to work 2, 3 in the morning. That's my time.
Uh-huh.
So the dub just kind of give me that rhythm that makes me
Yes.
just go through. It's not too crazy. It's just good. Um,
I like that. So Kali said, "Wow, amazing design elements."
Thank you,
You know,
Callie.
and so who are other artists you admire
Artist in what
in
sense?
in
Fashion.
fashion? Yes.
Oh wow. I'm very old school in the sense that when I was going to school, there was Terry Mugler, there
Uh-huh.
was Willie Smith, um, designers that are thinking out of the box,
Uh-huh.
that are doing something different, not just taking cloth and just making a skirt. Um, Alexander McQueen, Vivienne Westwood. These are people that are truly artists, and they do art for wear.
Hmm.
So those are the designers that I really like to see their stuff.
And what advice can you give to someone just starting out in their own artistic journey?
As far as fashion or
Yeah.
art,
Well,
well,
yeah, that's interesting. You know what? That's two questions.
it is.
Let's take art first.
Okay, art. Well, art is once you're an artist and you're a true artist, you go with your own vibration.
Hmm.
It's a gift given to us, and where you see fit to go with it, you go with it. It's your passion. If it's your passion,
If it's your
Yeah.
and design, fashion
Fashion
design.
design. Well, I can say a lot on that because the fashion industry is a interesting industry, especially now.
Hmm.
Um, What I have to say about fashion and young people getting into fashion, if it's your passion, go for it. If it's not your passion, don't go for it. If you just want to, have your name on a label or whatever, no,
It's not for you.
you have to love this industry. You have to be ready to go through blood, sweat, and tears. It's a industry that loves a certain, and I don't want to get into the politics of it, but for people of color, it's very tough. So, like myself, you do your own thing,
Mm-hmm.
you get into the business aspect of it. I like when young people tell me, "Oh, I'm going to school for merchandising or something like that," because I know a designer, you can a lot of people can design, but can you sell your design? Do you know
Mm-hmm.
how to market your stuff? Do you know where to put it? Where to, those type of things are important. Uh,
You know, an old friend of yours,
hmm
one of my new friends,
hmm
Walter Green.
Yes.
He was here, and he said that the fashion industry is wide and vast, and there are many areas that you can get into. And he also alluded to the fact that it's not for everybody.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And Walter Green, wow, what? That's one of my favorite people. Yes, he's a fabulous writer. Um, he's my publicist.
He's a published.
Yes, he's my
Yes, he
publicist.
seems to have that
Yes,
effect on all of us.
he definitely knows the industry. I met Walter almost 10 years ago, and he has upped my ante. He has upped my business.
Is that so?
Yes, took me to Guyana.
Ah,
Went to Guyana and fell in love with Guyana, and we did two fashion shows down there, 2008 and 2009.
your work.
My work. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's take a break.